Hey, in today's video, I wanted to have a quick catch up of what have been the trends for product management during 2023 and maybe what are some of my predictions of how these trends will continue during 2024. So 2023 has been a bit of a transition year. Yes, there are new technologies popping up and new ideas of how to do things popping up, but it has been also a little bit of a transition period from the point of view that we are still carrying and coming out from the consequences of 2020 where everybody was working from home and we are still apparently had not figured out if we should work from home, if we should work from the office, or if we should go from a hybrid model. And it depends on who you ask. There's one thing or the other. In any case, let's go through some of those areas that I think that have been having a big impact on product management. Hey, my name is Juan. If you are new to the channel, I do videos talking about products, building software products, product management, and product leadership. If you are interested in this type of videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. So the first one that comes to my mind is that subscription and microtransactions are really here to stay. And you can see it in many places. You can see it in many products. There's a ton of products nowadays that have subscriptions and also including microtransactions, not just subscriptions like something that you pay recurrently, but also these small payments that you maybe just do one time. Where you can see this, it's true that this has happened a while ago, especially with different software applications like Notion and different product services that are used for B2B products, but also for consumers. So both for business purposes or for consumers. That has been quite common to see, like in different productivity tools, but also in different entertainment services like Netflix, Spotify, and so on. That has been pretty present for a while ago, but now we have seen it coming into also like hardware products. So think about cars. Cars have nowadays different types of subscriptions that you can pay for, like heating your seats is a subscription in some car manufacturers, or different things that you could actually pay for a little bit of a period of time. I think that Tesla has also something for subscribing yourself to full self-driving whenever that's ready. That's going to be also a subscription service. This is something that you can then get in and out, depends on when you think that you need it. And also microtransactions have really come very, very strong in many products as well, especially in games. Games, to be honest, it has maybe gone a little bit out of control in my opinion, where you had to pay for a product to purchase it. You also had to pay a subscription to continue using it. And then you also have on top of it, microtransactions. So in some areas, the goal of trying to get every single penny out of the product seems to be a very big push. And it seems that, especially in gaming industry, is something that it has been pushed very hard. It seems also that the car industry or car manufacturers have been paying attention to this and start to go a little bit in the same direction. This, I think that's something that we will see more like going on to 2024 and potentially in the next years. The next one is more about processes. I think it's something that it has been popping up more and more. And of course, nothing has come like brand new during 2023, but it has strengthened a lot. It has been product growth and product operations. Those two areas of, let's call it product management. I know that not everybody is going to agree that this is product management, but those are areas that many times were taking over product managers in the past. Not always, of course. Product growth could be something that it was taking more over somebody that was just basically specifically working more with marketing even, sometimes even sales. So in that case, it has been a little bit different. But nowadays, the focus is on how can we get all these metrics to make sure that we are able to grow the product and expand the usage and make sure that we can tweak all the parts of the process of go-to-market. So we are actually increasing the numbers and increasing the metrics and increasing the revenue that we are getting from a product. Product operations is also something that in the past, it has been very driven by product managers and done by product managers, product leaders, so on. Nowadays, there are many companies that have product operations teams that are focused just on actually setting up the operations for those teams that do products in the company. So usually they work not just with product managers, but work with product managers, product designers, engineers, basically the team that it's the cross-functional team that should be focusing on delivering products and maximizing the outcomes. I think that these topics, definitely these two are going to grow in the future, especially with the push in subscriptions and online sales more and more in most of the products. Product growth is kind of a no-brainer that is going to grow and get more important in the companies. And so I think that product operations has followed a little bit the trend that happened in the beginning with Agile, where it started to be the figure of an Agile coach or a Scrum Master that helps the team establish the practices for a proper implementation of Agile. The same idea kind of goes with product operations. Is somebody that goes into the company to enable and facilitate that the teams can take those product creation processes into place and make sure that cross-functional collaboration, that all the aspects of not just product management, but the whole product creation process are in place. You could call it product development in some cases, but some people tie too much product development to the job done by engineers. So yeah, I think that this is something that it will continue to exist in companies and something that will continue to grow, because sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming for product managers to also take that role of facilitating and enabling. So especially in big companies, I think that product operations is something that will continue growing. Another topic that I think that has been growing, and it was super famous at some point, I don't remember which year, probably 2019, 2020. Of course, it was famous before, and then it kind of went down a little bit because of the economy crashing, is blockchain. Why it went down is because, well, when the economy kind of started to slow down in 2021, 2022, crypto was one of the first things to be affected, and of course that reduced the popularity of blockchain. But I think that blockchain starts to find maybe its niche, maybe the area where it actually starts to have value, where is the looking into how to certify processes, or how to do certification, or online certification, or how to do supply chain validation or certification of products. I think that that's where blockchain really makes a lot of sense. And blockchain is not necessarily crypto. Crypto is something that is built on top of blockchain. I think that this is something and a technology that in the future it will be more used. And I think that in a way what has happened with the different crashes in cryptos, that is taking away maybe the not so useful applications of blockchain and cryptos. And now it's starting to find more like what is the footing of this industry. It's a little bit what happened with .com. So before 1999, it was a little bit the Wild West. And after that, companies are starting to pop up. Companies are starting to really find the usefulness of .com in that moment. Nowadays, it's a thing that kind of blockchain is going to go in this same process, or that same, in a way, growing pains. And I think that that's a technology that it still makes a lot of sense. It has a very good set of applications that can be used for manufacturing, for online certification purposes. Just imagine all the things that you had to comply to whenever you, build a house or do any public project. There's a ton of certifications that had to happen there. Blockchain kind of makes sense for that kind of environment or that kind of situation. What it doesn't make sense is when they try to apply blockchain to anything, just because blockchain. The next topic that I have been seeing rising now during 2023 is go-to-market for product managers. I don't think that this covers the whole go-to-market process, and maybe it's more talking about a certain area and aspects of going to market. But I think that is good. The product managers also understand that just building the best product to solve a problem is not always enough. You also have to make sure that the people that this product is built for, they're going to find about it. They're going to consider it, and they're going to be able to purchase it. I think that these are very important things, and people also, and product managers especially, should also think a little bit about those parts of that go-to-market process and how they can help improving them. Because a product manager can have a lot of ideas or areas where it can contribute when it comes to these things. So being able to promote, especially when you are building different features or new features in the product, how do you bring that awareness of that new feature to the customers that you already have? You might not be able to promote it, or maybe you are not going to be working in the promotion towards everybody outside, but within the product, you can even do internal promotion. I think that, for example, Slack does a great job when it has a new feature, how they present it, how they show it, what are the value, or what is the value of that feature for you. I think that that's great. I think that that's something that maybe not only product managers, product designers should be paying attention to. And I think that that's something that is here, that is getting more visibility and more attention from product people, and it's going to get more and more in the future. That I think is great. You can see it, of course, when it comes to go-to-market practices with upselling within the product or having subscription models. I mean, all these things are related to go-to-market, and those are areas that product managers have been getting maybe more involved. This doesn't mean that a product manager has to take everything in the plate, that they are going to be able to plan and drive every single area. Just understand that most of us, when we work in different products, we work in a certain area of the product, and that's the area of the product that we had to focus on growing and improving. This might also, of course, imply that you have to understand how you're going to get to the market this new feature, this area of the product that you are working with, and that you're planning execution together with your team. Another area that I think that has seen a raise within product management is this product trio, or the working trio, or the product teams. It's kind of related to these processes that I was talking earlier with pro operations, product growth. But this is more related to the cross-functional aspect of product management. I think that this is something that has been growing a lot, something that has been paying more attention. Of course, it started earlier and it has been for a while. I'm not going to say that it has not been a topic that it has been out there, but I think that during 2022, 2023, it has become a much more relevant topic, something that many people are talking nowadays. Having a working trio, what they call like a tech lead, product manager, and product designer working together to actually bring the best outcome for those teams, those cross-functional teams that had to build the product for the customers. I think that maybe trio as such might be a little bit limiting, depends how your teams are structured, because if you have product marketing, if you have data management, or data science, or whatever it is that you have in your company, it might be that you need more people in that planning phase, in that decision-making, working together. So it might be that your trio is a quartet or a quintet. Don't know what's the term. Anyways, you have to make sure that those people that are planning the product work together and define the plan for the product. So I think that in the end, basically what you want to have is like a virtual team that is most of the time or very often working together to maybe drive, to make sure that they are driving the plans, that they are driving the execution, and they are taking into consideration all the aspects of what building a product is. And I think that this is why it's important to take the aspect of go-to-market. That's why the team might not be just a trio. That is maybe my prediction for 2024. Might be a little bit too early. I think this is something that is going to come over the next years, where you really have to have these kind of horizontal teams that are able to cover the whole aspect of creating a product all the way to taking it to the market, all the way to actually servicing it, and so on. And the last one, and the one that you probably have been thinking about, is AI, the rise of AI. The reality is that, yes, AI has been here for a while. Machine learning has been here for quite some time. Recommendation systems have been there. And those are areas that are using some kind of AI to different levels. Obviously, with the rise of ChatGPT, that's something that everybody became super aware of what AI was, and that AI was somewhere here. Of course, ChatGPT, you can say many things. Of course, you can improve, and of course, it's not always going to give you the right answer, because it's learning from people who not always give the right answer. So obviously, it's learning from us. Our knowledge has its limitations, so obviously it's going to have its limitations. In any case, as an assistant, it's a great tool and something that I also use myself. So I think that it's a very useful tool. And I think that definitely in the future, we are going to see more adoption of AI. I also think that right now we are a little bit in this bubble building of AI has to be in everything. That every tool now, whenever they release a feature that is slightly more clever than your basic feature, is going to be many times labeled as AI. And I think that that's maybe not the reality. I think that we are building a little bit of an AI bubble, the same as we had a .com bubble and we had a crypto bubble or blockchain bubble. We might be building now the AI bubble. I'm almost sure that it will happen because that's how companies operate, and it's easy to just jump in a trend. Everybody tries to jump in, tries to build on top of it, and tries to prioritize technology and marketing that technology over the application or the finding of the correct solutions. So I think that AI is going to continue to grow. Potentially at some point it's going to slow down a little bit and lose a little bit the interest that people have. People don't tend to have a constant interest on a specific topic for a very long time. That's going to potentially pop, and then some of these maybe not very great solutions, they're not going to continue. That's going to stabilize. At some point, of course, AI is going to find its footing and is going to be built for purpose and to really solve problems and needs that are out there. What are those problems and needs? Well, your guess is as good as mine. So we will see, and something that is going to be taken into consideration, something that is going to be definitely building towards in the future. Is it going to take over all of our jobs? Probably it's not going to do that in a while. But who knows? Again, predictions, I might be wrong. In any case, if you are a person who is working with product, or if you are an engineer, AI is something to pay attention to, something that you have to understand, and understand also in which cases it might make sense. You want to automate certain processes, you want to actually make or help make decisions for people. Some things that might take a lot of time, you might help reducing that research time or reducing that decision-making time. If you are able to help people bringing in recommendations, your users, that potentially is an application of AI and learning from the patterns of how people are using your products. That's something that you can look into, something that you can learn from the masses of people that use your product and actually build those recommendation systems. This, I think, is something that definitely you should pay attention to, and don't try maybe necessarily to go for the crazy leap, but understand and getting familiar more with the technology, with its applications, and start building a good core of what those recommendation systems, whatever they are, might be in your product. Definitely something that is going to grow in the future, even if now we are more in the hype time of AI, and that's probably going to slow down over time. But definitely, I think that that's a technology that's here to stay, something that you should pay attention to. So these are the different areas that have been relatively hot for product managers now during 2023, and my predictions where they will go in 2024. Predictions are predictions. I might be wrong. I might be right. If you're watching this video, maybe 1 or 2 years from now, you can say which ones were right and which ones were wrong. Also, let us know in the comments below, which ones are the predictions that you think that are going to, or the trends that are going to be in 24 and onwards for product people, and which ones maybe I missed now during 2023. Please share with us. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It helps massively. I will see you in the next one. And remember, stay safe.